precision, cunning, focus, and manipulation. Everything we know about the new Valorant agent Vyse tells us to keep far, far away. And yet, so let's take a deeper look into Vyse, who she is, how she fits into the Valorant team, and her relationship with the other agents. And if one could blossom into something more. Vyse is full of unknowns. We don't know her real name, how old she is, where she's from, nothing.
Never.
We also don't know if this is her original body. Let me explain. The powerful radiance we know today came about from the First Light incident, which is when people began to display what we would call superpowers. This event took place roughly 11 to 13 years before the present day. So there are three options. 1. Vyse was a normal human scientist before the First Light incident and was changed like many other people after the exposure. This to me makes the most sense. It would be hard to join Kingdom as, well, a robot, and we know that she worked there, though it's hard to pinpoint how long ago, as she does mention this on Icebox.
So this is the project that sapped my funding all those years ago. Looks like it worked out well for you, Kingdom.
But a second option is that Vyse was still a normal human, but was changed at a different time, possibly due to an experiment with Kingdom or some other unfortunate, or maybe fortunate, event. This is also possible, as we know that Kingdom has been working on synthesizing made rather than born radiance. Though it would seem improbable that they would let someone go if their experiments were successful. Our last option, though, is that Vyse was never a human and was in fact always the robotic creature that she is today. Maybe she was made in a Kingdom lab, maybe she was someone's twisted experiment, or something even more sinister. The truth is that, as of writing this, we don't know. Though I believe the first theory to be the most plausible, I think all of them have merit, and who knows, there could be a secret fourth option where she was something else entirely. Maybe something like the escaped Radivore from Sunset.
To all Radivore containment staff, subject ZN35 remains unaccounted for in the Dirac ring. This entity can't disguise itself as any flora. Please remove all plants from your workspaces until it is recovered.
Recently though, Vyse was a fugitive on Abyss. During the Abyss map trailer, she appears at the very end, though she's heavily covered by fog. Afterwards, she makes an escape and her thorns can be found around the prison chambers in Abyss. This is most curious. We know the Scions of Hourglass, who were the previous owners of Abyss, had been an organization set on keeping Radianite, and thus Radiance, a secret. They trapped Vyse and seemed to be conducting experiments or at least studies on her before the Valorant team took over the base. She of course used her new freedom to go destroy 2 other Hourglass bases nearby, a move in which I can find no faults. How she ended up in Abyss and theories about her past aside though, it's very clear that Vyse fills a hole that was previously lacking in the Valorant team. And I don't mean in the game, I'm here to yap about lore, it's up to the pros to figure out if she's any good and competitive. But Vyse was known to be a researcher on the Interverse, which is her term for what we've been calling the Mirrorverse. If you're unfamiliar, Valorant has a multiverse which is split between our Earth, Alpha Earth, and the other enemy Earth, Omega Earth. Vyse seemed to be the key researcher at Kingdom in this field. But what exactly does that mean? Well, very good question, as she has yet to impart any of her wisdom onto the Valorant team, other than to throw some shade at Brimstone.
For some reason, your failing to answer your phone does not surprise me. Let's hope this isn't a precedent you continue to cement. I finished reading through Valorant's interversal documentation, and your research is borderline amateur. Your findings on seismic fluctuations, isotope decay, even organic substrates are all objectively wrong. My team and I had a more comprehensive understanding in all these fields over a decade ago. Has there been no more work done? This is one of the most intriguing fields of scientific research, and all I see from this team, your team, is apathy and atrophy. I will spearhead this project. I will teach you all about my work, and you will thank me.
So now that Vyse has appointed herself as the head of the Valorant Protocol's so-called Interverse team, it's really just a waiting game for us to see what she can do with it. If she's to be believed and the Valorant team is that far behind on their research, then sooner rather than later we'll be getting a whole lot of new information regarding Omega Earth and maybe even ways to combat their attack attempts. For all we know, the next cinematic could possibly be another traverse through the portals into Omega Earth, though if anyone remembers the Shattered cinematic, it didn't exactly go well for them. But things between Vyse and the other agents aren't perfect. Take, for example, how she speaks to Brimstone. She challenges his leadership, and from the voicemail we played earlier, she doesn't seem to have unwavering faith in Brimstone like many of the other agents do. It could simply be a matter of time for her to adjust to working under someone rather than being the boss of a team. But speaking of team, her relationship with Viper is a curious one. We know that Viper and Omen share a troubled past, but it seems that Vyse also once shared a past with Viper. In a few of Vyse's voice lines, she says things like,
"Oh, Sabine, how did we both change careers and still end up working together? We saved the world once, Sabine. I don't doubt that we can do it again. Just like old times, Viper."
We know that both Viper and Vyse worked for Kingdom before coming to the Valorant protocol, though we're not sure if they ever actually worked together or if they just worked parallel to each other. Either way, Vyse seems to tolerate, if not respect, Viper, and since they are both leading scientists in their respective fields, who knows what sort of stuff they might cook up together. But I saved the best for last. You're welcome. Vyse's relationship with Omen is manifesting in an interesting way. See, Omen was absent from the Valorant protocol for months of in-universe time, out on his own personal mission for vengeance and understanding, but now he's back. We get some praise and wonder from Vyse in regards to Omen.
"I never tire of watching you work, Omen."
Vyse was also described by Sage as a monster, which is something Omen clearly relates to. Right now, they seem to be strictly colleagues, but it does seem that Omen has recently made his return to the team. And I'm not saying it was because of a specific robotic woman, but I'm also not saying that it wasn't. As for now, that's all we know about Vyse. Once more cinematics and voicemails are released, we'll share all of the information right here, so be sure to click the like button and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on Vyse's lore. Until that time, let us know your theories on Vyse and how she will impact the Valorant team in a comment below, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye!